Hi, I'm Jacob Nielsen.
And I'm Hua Loringer. We're here because we want to share with you an effective technique called paper prototyping.
This video contains instructions for creating paper prototypes and demonstrations for testing them. In our experience, most design teams don't test their designs at all or do it too late. A common misconception is that web designs must appear polished before they can be evaluated by users, that every element, icon, interaction must be in place before you can show it to users.
Paper prototypes cannot be used to evaluate every aspect of a design. However, if done properly, paper prototypes can help you identify major issues early. Don't risk wasting your time adding details only to discover later that you have a flawed design. Low detail sketches can be sufficient for usability testing. Test your concepts first, then add more detail after each iteration. Paper prototypes can be created from common office supplies. These are examples of prototypes that are fit for usability testing. Notice how rough they appear. Even these hand-drawn sketches can be effective in helping you get user feedback early.
We encourage you to test your initial ideas by using a low-tech method. If you start a design project on the computer, there's a high likelihood that you'll spend endless hours agonizing over details and fine-tuning elements that may not matter. Creating sketches by hand is a good way to free your mind and allow you to be more creative. Even more importantly, this low-tech method facilitates collaboration among team members by allowing colleagues to share ideas in a format that is unthreatening. Almost anyone can use colored markers, but not everyone is comfortable with fancy collaboration technology.
A low-fidelity prototype like this can be useful in testing the structure, workflow, and content of your site or feature. These elements will provide the main structure of your design. After a few rounds of testing and making refinements, you may want to increase the fidelity of your design by adding more detail. At this phase, it's okay to get help from a software application to bring your ideas to life, because the main structure of your design is solid. As you get closer to the end of the design cycle, you may want to test a more realistic-looking version to get feedback on the finer details. If you've tested your ideas all along, then you should feel pretty confident about being on target at this point. You just saw how prototypes can change after each iteration. Let the goals of your study help you decide which elements to include in the prototype and how real it appears. In general, choose the option that allows you to test your ideas without incurring unnecessary work. Testing interactions with paper prototypes is very similar to testing a live system. The main difference is the interface happens to be on paper. To interact with the interface, participants use a pen to point to items they want to click and to fill in text boxes. The researcher presents users with the corresponding screens. We will demonstrate this a little later.
Next, we offer tips on the supplies you can use. You can create effective prototypes with a basic set of materials. You will develop your own style and refine your kit as you continue to practice this technique.
We recommend low-fidelity prototypes to be made with plain white paper. Standard and legal size paper work well. One of the basic tools that you should have in your supply box is a pair of scissors. You'll need them to cut out things such as screenshots, graphics, and other elements that you create. Paper correction fluid and tape is invaluable in paper prototyping to modify and make changes quickly. With paper correction tape, you can make it so that you can reuse your prototypes. Put this tape over areas in which the participant will write and replace it at the end of each session. Self-sticking notes are good for simulating pop-up menus and dialog boxes. They are sticky enough to stay in place, but can be lifted off without damaging the prototype. Use transparency tape when you want to affix something permanently to the prototype or to make repairs. Use the matte kind to minimize glare and distraction. Draw prototypes using medium-tip pens so the lines are thick enough for everyone to see, but not so thick that the lines blend together. We recommend starting with black and white prototypes. The true test of your visual design can be evaluated later. A reason to use color is to create visual emphasis. For example, you might use different colors to indicate links or different areas of a page. We usually test our designs with more than one user. One way to make your prototypes reusable is to place a transparency sheet on top of it. The user writes on the transparency and not the paper. We usually don't record this type of usability session because the iterations occur quickly. If you have good reason to record, there are a few ways to do it. One method is to use a document camera, such as the one shown here. A document camera could be helpful in recording very small screens, such as mobile devices. An alternative is to position a video camera on a tripod behind the user. Now let's see how you can simulate widgets and interactions. Make your text input boxes large enough for people to write in. It doesn't need to be perfectly formed, just enough for it to be recognizable. For checkboxes and radio buttons, draw squares and circles and mark accordingly. Links can be underlined or shown in a different color. If the participant points to an item that is not a link, note this as a finding and follow up with a neutral question such as, "What did you expect?" For drop-down menus, list the items on a self-stick note, then place it in the proper area once an item is selected. Action buttons can be drawn as simple rectangles. Write the label name inside each box. This is a good way to test whether or not users understand them. For mega menus, list the item on a sheet of paper. Show it when the proper area is selected. Content can be tested in the context of the workflow. Some designers use Greek text. In other words, they replace the content with unintelligible text and symbols. We don't recommend this practice because it confuses participants. It's better to feature representative content because it provides context, allowing you to receive a more accurate assessment of your design. Consider creating modular pieces if you have elements that are duplicated across multiple screens. For example, rather than draw the same navigation menu on every page, create modules so you can reuse them across screens. Simple widgets can be simulated well with paper. However, simulating complex interactions is a little bit more challenging and not perfect. But with a little bit of ingenuity, you can roughly simulate some of these interactions. Let's see some examples. To show selected items, use strips of transparency film or draw boxes on the film to represent a selection. Drag and drop is a challenge to show on paper. One thing you can do is to do nothing at all and watch what happens. If the user moves their pointer to one area to another, then that is an indication of drag and drop. If the user simply points, then this tells you that they may not expect drag and drop. When this happens, it's appropriate to ask for clarification. A good neutral question is, "What did you expect to happen?" Sometimes it's important to know whether or not people scroll or notice elements below the fold. You can roughly measure this by preparing a browser frame with scroll bars that represent a given resolution. Place the frame on top of the prototype, and as the user points to the scroll bars, move the paper up or down. There are different ways to show expanding and contracting elements. One way is to fold the paper, then reveal the panel when the user wants to see more. Another method is to have modules. Add them as the participant clicks on them. For light boxes, you can use color transparency film or gray paper. If music or sound is important, you can simulate it in the following ways. Play the music whenever the user prompts it, or place a symbol next to the prototype to show that music is playing. Make sure to explain the symbol to the participant ahead of time. Multimedia and animation might not be replicated well on paper. Sometimes it's best to test these elements using a more realistic prototype. You might be able to simulate videos by playing it on a separate device, but in general, testing highly dynamic elements is a limitation to paper. There are two important elements worth mentioning: the under construction screen and the loading screen. No matter how well planned your study is, these two screens can be a lifesaver. If people select an item that you don't have a screen for, show the under construction message. This will give you an opportunity to get clarification on the user's expectations. Don't sweat it if you need time to find a screen or to make modifications. Simply present the loading message and people will wait patiently. Thank you for being here. We're in the early phase of designing a website, which is a car rental website. And as part of the process, I'm going to be giving you some activities to do and asking you for your feedback as you work on the website. The purpose of the study is to learn more about how we can improve the usability of the website we're designing. You'll be working on a website which happens to be on paper. This is Kara. She will be playing our computer today, and she'll be handing you the screens. So imagine that this is your computer area. All your screens will be placed here. To interact with the website, what you would do is to use this pen. Point to things you would normally click on, and then go ahead and use this pen to fill in what you would normally write. Now, you might encounter areas that we don't have a screen for, and that's okay. You'll get a screen that says under construction. When this happens, don't worry about it. We'll guide you through the process. Now, there are times when the computer might be slow or need time to make some modifications, and you'll get a screen that looks like this. It says loading. The computer is thinking. As you work on your activities, please think out loud. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, or if you find something confusing. All of this information is important for us to know. Remember, we're not evaluating you in any way, we're evaluating the website. During the activities, please imagine as if you were at home. Do what you normally would do. And when you get to an end point, please tell me when you're done.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
Just to get you in that thinking out loud mode, let's go ahead and read this out loud.
Okay. Please tell us what you are thinking as you do the activities. Tell us if you notice something you like, dislike, or think is confusing. Your comments will help us evaluate the design. The facilitator will be taking notes quietly. Please feel free to ask her questions. However, she may not be able to answer some of them until the end of the session.
This is your task. Please read this out loud.
Okay. You want to take a road trip with your family and need to rent a car. The goal is to get something for under $100 per day. Use the website to reserve a car. Below are some of the details that you might need. Okay.
Do you have any questions so far?
No.
Okay, so let's begin on this page here.
Okay. So I assume this is the home page for the blue car rental. The first thing I would do is click on Make a Reservation. Okay. Step 1, make a reservation. Okay. So pickup location. I figure it would be at an airport, but I will click on the arrow to see where else I could pick it up. Okay, airport, U.S. address, or popular landmark. Oh, okay, so if I was going on vacation somewhere, I could get that. But I'm going to select airport. And I know that I'm going to pick up from San Diego Airport, so I'll type in SAN. And I'm going to be returning it to a different location, so I'm going to click on Return to Different Location. Oh, okay. So it looks like my screen expanded, and I'm going to return it also to an airport, but a different one, and it's going to be San Francisco, SFO. Okay. So the date I'm going to pick it up is going to be July 15th. So I'm going to click on the calendar picture right there. Okay, and I'm going to click July 15th right there. Great. And the time, click on the time arrow. And I'm going to pick up the car at 2 p.m. Click on 2 p.m. Okay. You know, I really like the calendar features on websites rather than going through a whole bunch of boxes and picking multiple dates and months and things like that. It's just so much easier to do this way.
Okay.
So now what I'm going to do is select my car type, and looks like eco-friendly is in this box already. I don't know if eco-friendly is those tiny, if they mean tiny cars, or if it means something else. So I'm actually going to, I'll click on the down arrow here to see what other kinds of cars there are. Okay, eco-friendly Summer Sensations, Platinum Fleet, Economy. I don't know what these things mean. I wish I could just put it in kind of plain language. So let me click on car types and see if I could get more information. Okay, so eco-friendly are fuel-efficient, environmentally friendly cars. Okay, so like hybrids. Okay, Summer Sensations, convertible, high performance, platinum is luxury. This is kind of what I mean. I wish they could just say, you know, convertibles or luxury cars. It'd be much easier to select on the previous page without going back and forth.
Okay.
Economy and midsize, I understand those. So economy is 2 to 4 doors, 4 to 5 passengers, 3 suitcases. Midsize a little bit bigger, 2 to 4 doors, 4 to 5. It's the same thing. So that's really confusing. That economy and midsize have the same description. So I'm going to just close that. And maybe if I look at the actual cars themselves. Okay, so let me go back to car type and select that down arrow. And I'm going to select economy and take a look at those. Okay, and drivers under 26, I'll say no. Okay, and it's funny, I would have thought it would have been a continue button, and it looks like it says submit. And it makes me kind of think, like, am I submitting the whole reservation right now, or am I just going to the next stage? I would expect it to show me the economy cars next, so I'll click submit.
Okay.
Oh, looks like maybe I broke something. Error, you must select a return date. Oh, I didn't okay, I'll click OK. Looks like I forgot to select my drop-off date. So I'll click on the calendar again. Okay, and I'm dropping it off on July 19th. Click on July 19. And the time, click on the, it'll be 10 a.m. And now I'll click submit. Okay, so the economy cars in step 2, choose a car. Okay, I've got my Chevy Aveo, Nissan Versa, Toyota Corolla. Well, I'm actually really confused because all the bullets are the same for all the cars. 2 to 4 doors, 4 to 5 passengers, 3 suitcases. So this isn't actually helpful for me to distinguish between them, so I'd have to rely on the images themselves and the prices. Okay. So let me go back and take a look at the midsize then. I'll click back. Okay. And I will click on the down arrow again for car type. And select midsize. Click. And I'll click submit. Okay, so here are my mid-sized cars. And Mitsubishi Galant, Chevy Impala, Toyota Camry. And once again, all the bullets under them are the same, so it doesn't actually help me that much. So I'd be relying on the car images to tell me which car I want and the prices. And interestingly, I just noticed that the Mitsubishi Galant, as a midsize, is actually a little bit less expensive than one of the economy cars. So I think I'll probably go with midsize if it's even less expensive. But I would really like to see really nice images of the cars, and maybe people sitting in them so I can kind of judge how big the cars are.
Okay.
But I'm going to select the Mitsubishi Galant and click select. Okay, so I guess I'm waiting for the computer to show me the next screen. It's just loading now. Okay. Oh, this is what I would expect. Once I've selected my car, I get to choose the options. So, I think I want a navigation system, but I want to see what kind of navigation system it is before I actually pay $12.99 a day. So I'll click on navigation system to see if I could get more information. Oh.
We don't have a screen for that, but can you tell me a little bit more about what you were expecting to see on that page?
Oh, sure. So what I wanted to see is if it was the same navigation system I use in my car. So I wanted to see who makes it, like if it's a Magellan navigation system, and maybe a picture of what it looks like, the screen, so I can see if it's easy to use, if it looks familiar or not.
Okay. So let's imagine that this page had that information that you were looking for. Okay. What would you do next?
Well, what I would like to do is be able to add it or select it on this screen, or if I couldn't do that, go back to the previous screen I was on and select it there.
Okay, let's check out the previous screen and take it from there.
Okay. Okay, so I will actually select the navigation system, so I'll click to select that. And I do have a baby, so I need a car seat, so I'm going to click to select infant car seat. Okay, and I guess I have to identify how many infants I have, so I will say 1. Okay, so it looks like the system is probably doing some kind of calculations, and so I just need to wait for a second.
Okay.
Okay, great. So what I see here is my vehicle I've selected, the cost per day and total with fees, and subtotal of 413. Okay, and I really like this kind of cumulative adding of all the things I've selected. It makes me feel that, the website is kind of updating me and giving me information, so I really like that. So I'm going to click continue. Okay. Okay, great. So this is where I reserve. Okay, so I enter my first name, last name, and email at gmail.com. And I do like that the link is there to give me answers on why they're asking for my email.
Okay.
So I know that it's a reputable company and they're not going to just spam me. But actually, I really don't like this when they kind of automatically fill in this sending me promotional offers. I don't like that, and nobody I know likes that, so I wish they would have that unchecked and I could check it if I wanted to.
Okay.
I get plenty of emails. I don't need more. But I do like the updated totals here on the right side, so that's good information. I'd want to know that before I actually reserve the car. So now I'll click Reserve Car.
Okay.
Okay, and a confirmation screen. Okay, exactly what I expected. Oh, I'm happy they tell me an email confirmation is being sent, so I don't have to print this. And it looks like I've finished with my reservation. So I'm going to click Done and be through.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The technique for testing high and low fidelity designs with paper is identical. However, prototypes that look closer to the final product can provide you with additional data that low fidelity designs cannot. We usually recommend starting with a less detailed design to help you get to this level. Let's see what a test with a detailed design can discover. This is your task. Please read this out loud.
Okay. You want to get customized business cards. You want an inexpensive, simple design. See if the site offers a design you like and create a card. Below are some of the details you might need. Okay. Okay, so it looks like this is the home page for Superfast Printing. It looks nice and simple. I kind of like it on first glance. I like that they tell me that the business cards start at just $15.99 and I can get them in 2 days. So that's great. But actually, as I'm looking at this, one thing I really don't need is for most of the page to be taken up with this picture of a tropical island. I'm getting business cards, it's a business activity. I don't need to make it look like a vacation.
Okay.
I like it having the testimonials, but actually in this case, that first one just seems a little long. I don't really want to read a paragraph of testimonials. But the rest of it looks pretty good. I like the area for get ideas and a little light bulb next to it. And favorites. I'm not sure what favorites are. And actually, I have no idea what this little icon is. Is that a sun?
What
Anyway.
Do you have a guess?
Actually, no, I don't. It just looks strange to me. Okay, and I'm not sure if these areas over here on the right side, if those are advertisements or actually part of this site. It kind of looks like an ad, so I don't really want to click on it. So I'm looking for business cards, so I will click on products. Oh, hey, that's actually nice, but it's a little hard to read, actually. It's hard to read the white text on that kind of orange-red background. But I like having all this information here. From the first screen, I had no idea that the site did all these things. It seemed like a really, really simple site just to make business cards, but it's actually good to know that they have all these services. So I'm going to look for and click business cards. Okay, so customize your card in 5 minutes. Oh, it's good to know. It's a quick process. They say, again, $15.99 at start, so I kind of know what I'm looking at for costs. And I can upload my design if I did like an old business card. That's good to know. It's actually kind of strange here in this image that he's showing a blank business card. I would have figured, show me an example of what one looks like to get me in the mood or get my creative juices flowing. Okay. So that I don't really like that. I think I want to customize my own. Yeah, so I'm going to click Customize. Okay, so select a background for your card. Okay. Oh, it's good. They allow me to have the option of vertical or horizontal cards. I can select the best-selling cards or the newest cards. Best-selling that's kind of cool because I know what the newest designs are, or the coolest designs are. So I'd look at some of these. Some of these seem kind of loud. It's really busy. I want a simple card. Yeah, I want a simple card. And I would rather, instead of going through and scrolling through 10 pages, I think I would like one long page that I could compare the cards and see them next to one another. I see in this drop down I can probably show more per page, but I think it should just automatically have one long one instead of just seeing a few at a time.
Okay.
I'm not crazy about any of these, so I will go to page 2. Click on 2. Okay. Well, again, a lot of these are busy, but I kind of like this nice simple one over here on the right side. It's nice and inexpensive, starts at $15.99 like the website said. So, yeah, this one looks pretty good. I'll select that one. Okay. Oh, that's nice. They show me a big picture of the card, a big blown up picture. Okay, so this is, I guess this is the front of the card, but I see I can do the back of the card too. I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm not going to do back of card, but that's actually a nice offer. So how do I use this? It looks like there's edits next to everything, so I think I'll just start at the top and click edit next to. Well, actually, it raises quite. I haven't put anything in, so what am I editing? I almost think that should say enter rather than edit. But I'm going to assume that if I click edit, that's where I go to enter. So let me click edit. Okay, yeah, okay, so that makes sense. That's kind of what I expected. Now I've got a blank box to enter my information. So my company is Mitch's Sailing Lessons, so I'm going to enter a big M right here and click update. Okay, so now I see my M. Good, I like this feedback. I will next go to company name and click edit. Okay, great. So we're going lessons. Okay, and click update. Oh, that looks pretty good. Okay, let's go full name, edit. edit, update. So it's a little bit tedious. I mean, it takes a long time to go back and forth, but in a way it's good because I don't think I'm going to make a lot of mistakes here. I mean, I'm just doing one thing at a time. And if it was all open text boxes, I might make more mistakes. So I think it's okay.
Okay.
So let's click Edit Job Title. Okay. And update. It's almost kind of like a game. Okay, great. Edit address line 1. And update. Okay, and I will edit address line 2, edit. Great. I am in Suite 203. Click Update. And now my phone number. Click Edit. Okay. Sometimes what I like is if there's an example next to it, so I know whether I should put the dashes in the phone number or not, or a parentheses around the area code. But for now, this is good. So click Update. Okay, everything looks correct.
What are you thinking?
Well, actually, you know, I'm thinking I typed in my phone number, and if I type in my fax number too, I'll just have two numbers there. It doesn't actually say that this is like my office phone or my, you know, the business line versus the fax. So I wonder if I have to go back and type that in. So I'm going to go back and click Edit again on phone number. I don't know if in the final business card it'll have some kind of text label or not. But I'm going to type in 1212. Click Update. Oh, okay. So that's what I wanted to see. That's how I want it to be. Okay. So I'll do the same thing with fax. Click Edit. And fax 1213. Click Update. Okay, and let's edit the email. Click. Okay. I am mitchellsailing.com. Click it. Update. Okay, so this is what my card looks like. Looks good, but it looks like I have one more step to actually preview it. So I'm going to preview the final card. Click Preview. And this is my new business card. I see that I can't go to the back of card like I said before, but this looks pretty good. Let's see. It's an interesting checkbox now at the bottom. Spelling and information is correct. At first I thought that was a spell checker, but I think what I'm doing here is telling the computer or the website that it is correct. I've looked it over. So I'm going to check that because it looks good. And I will click Send to Print. And that's my business card.
Great. Thank you so much for your help.
You're welcome.
The following demonstration shows how an application for a mobile device can be tested by using plain white paper.
And this is your next activity.
Okay. You just had a dinner at a restaurant with 9 friends. You were pleased with the service. Your bill came out to be $249.56. You want to split the bill with your friends. Use the app on your phone to calculate the amount for each person. Okay, so I guess this is my phone. So I have 9 friends, so there's 10 of us total. So first question, the number of people. So let's see, I'm not exactly sure how this works. So looks like a touch screen. I will touch the first person there. Okay. So that highlights 10 people. It seems like it's going to be kind of a process to go through and select 10. So I'm going to just click more and see what happens. Oh, okay, so I can select more people this way. And I'm assuming, or the way I want this to work is that I can kind of touch and drag it up like some applications do. So I would spool it up to 10 people and click 10 people. Okay. So it looks like that's how they signify 10. Yeah, what I would actually want is just for it to say 10 people. And maybe even easier than, pushing multiple times. Just give me a text box or something where I could just type in 10 people. That, to me, that seems quicker and easier.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got my 10 people. Tip percentage, I'm going to select 20%. On this, actually, I like seeing the little percentage next to the numbers. It's just more recognizable. And the check total is $249.56. So I'll click into that box. Okay. And I would type in 249.56 and done. Okay. Okay, so this is great. It actually gives me my totals. My total with tip is now $299.47. Total tips $49.91. It's kind of weird language. Total tips. I would have thought it's just singular, but maybe I don't know. Tips per diner $5. Total per diner $29.95. That makes it really easy. So I think I'm done with this task.
Okay. Thank
Thanks.
you very much.
You're welcome.
Paper prototyping is not only for websites and software. This technique can be applied to hardware and three-dimensional interfaces as well. Here's an example of how we tested a soda dispensing machine. Please fill this up with a beverage of your choice.
Okay. So looking at the machine, first thing I would do actually is put ice into it before I fill it up with a beverage. So I would assume the ice is going to drop down here, and I don't actually see anything on the screen for ice. I'm just going to take a guess that I push this button for ice, so I'll push that.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Now my glass has ice. So now what beverage do I want to drink? I think I'm going to choose sparkling water. So I'll push sparkling water. And I've got the options of regular versus diet, so I think I'm going to choose diet. I'll click on diet. So I can add a flavor to my sparkling water. Actually, I kind of like this because, flavors to sparkling water are nice. I've never seen this on a machine before, so I do like that. I'm going to add some lime. I'll click on lime. Okay, enjoy your drink. It tells me a diet sparkling lime, but I would expect it to pour out at this point.
Okay. So nothing happens here.
Okay, so that makes me think I've got to do something more, even though it looks like it's just telling me what I selected. So I'll push diet sparkling lime again and see if something pours out.
And nothing happens here either.
Okay. Well, it's highlighted, so maybe this button here operates as both ice and the drink dispenser, so I'll try pushing the drink dispenser.
And the drink comes out.
Okay. Okay, well, that was actually a little bit confusing. I just didn't know what to do to actually get the drink. And it seems like a lot of choices when I'm standing in line with people behind me, but I guess I got my drink and I figured it out. So I got my sparkling lime.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Paper prototyping is a great way to test your ideas early. It's easier and cheaper to fix designs early before they are coded. Team members are more accepting of recommendations if they have not invested a lot of effort in making it look good.
We hope that we've given you some useful tips. We encourage you to incorporate this technique in future design projects.